All right. For my students that are at home, so you're going to have to maximize your screen. So whenever you're going to watch this, you're going to have to make your screen a little bigger. I'll try to stay out of the way. Everybody else.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to try to recreate one of these inside this document. All right. It's going to be very simple. So up here where it says insert, we're going to go to insert and it's going to pull a drop down and we're going to insert a drawing. So when you do that, so we want to, so we want to put the mouse where you want it to be. So like right now we're going to do in carbon. So that's where we want the image to be. So everybody put your mouse so that you can see the carbon. You're going to do insert and we're going to say drawing. And then from drawing, we're going to go new. So insert, drawing, and then new. So it's going to pull up a new sheet like this. Everybody got that?
Yes.
Peterson? Mm-hmm. All right. So when you do that, you see all these little symbols? Yep. So we have this one that says shape. So our shape, we'll hover over shape. We'll move down. Oops, sorry. Move over and then down to the circle. So when we pull the circle, now remember this thing has the nucleus. So we'll need a circle for the nucleus and we'll need a circle for the electrons. So how many protons does carbon have?
6.
It has 6. So I have this one here. I'm going to make it a little smaller. So I have my circle. Now I need to put how many protons are inside of here. So I'm going to come up to this little symbol that looks like a text box right there. Everybody see that? So that text box, when I click on that text box, then I'm going to drag that text box into here. And I'm going to say how much. I'll have to get my mouse, my keyboard. Make sure you're doing the same thing we're doing, Mr. Strat.
It's very small.
Yeah. So it's going to be big, but we're going to resize it. Okay?
Mine's like off the page.
So we're going to yes, it will be off the page. So how many protons are in there?
6.
Protons, 6. So you can do 6. Oops, that's 7.
6.
All right. How many neutrons does it have?
You do P and then slash.
Just like I'm doing right there. So I got P and 6. See,
Is
P.
there like a dash?
Yeah, you don't have to put a dash. You can just put P6 if you want to. How many neutrons does it have? So remember the over here we did this the other day and it had 12 atomic mass. And in order to find the number of neutrons, you take the atomic mass, subtract the protons from it. So 12 minus 6 is 6. So the neutron count is going to be 6. Yes, sir.
So after we click insert and drawing, do we click new or from draft?
New. All right, so it's a good question. So we went insert, drawing, new, and then we're putting our new information in here after we created our text box. So now I have this, and it's all out of place. So I'm going to go to the front of the P, and I'm going to drag over the information that I want to resize. If I click, there's the size symbols, but I can even click on this to get more buttons.
Mine is in place. It's in the circle.
So see how I just resized that? I use this little plus and minus right here for font size. You have to highlight it first. Highlight it. Create your font. So if you got it fixed and you don't have to do anything. But now we're going to have to add how many electrons does this carbon have?
6.
Has 6. So we have to create a shell around it. So how many electrons can be in the first shell? We learned this yesterday.
Ooh,
So
2.
2. So remember you do 2 n squared.
Wasn't the other one like 6 or 8?
So yes,
The
that's
other
correct.
was 8.
So we learned yesterday that we have this little formula called 2n squared where n equals the level, that electron cloud level. And so if it's the first one, if n equals 1, then I have 2, 1 squared. 2. 1 times 1 is
1.
1 times 2 is
2. 2
2.
is 2.
So my first shell is going to be 2 electrons. And my second shell, so if n equals 2, 2 times 2 is
4.
4. And 4 times 2 is?
5. What? 4 times
4
2
times 2 is
is
5.
8. I meant 8.
8. So in the second shell, I can have 8. What about n equals 3? So if 2, 3 squared, what's 3 squared?
9.
9. And 9 times 2 is?
18.
18. So I think, who said 18 a while ago? I think that was you. Was that you?
I just said
All right, so we could keep going though. So if we had 3 rings, 4 rings, 5 rings, 6 rings, we could keep getting bigger and bigger, and we would know how many electrons need to be in this. So how much does carbon have? I got to see your answer. So carbon has 6 protons, right?
Yeah.
Has 6 neutrons, and it has how many electrons?
6.
6. So I know that I need a ring out here that is going to hold, the first ring is going to hold how many?
2.
2. And so we have 6 total, right? So now the first one's going to have 2. How many is my next ring going to have?
3. 4.
4. It could have up to 8 before you have to start putting them in the next ring. So, but it only has 4 in that second ring, so that's all we're going to put there. So everybody watch what I'm going to do. So we're going to make a new ring. We're going to take this, go back up to shape, and I'm going to find a new circle like that. Make sure you're on the right thing. I'm going to go just out. Don't be on anything other than what I'm on, Mr. Surratt. You've been missing too much. All right, so I'm going to go make a bigger circle. That's a crappy circle. I'll probably need to move it a little bit.
That's a good circle.
That's a crappy circle. So I'm going to move it over a little bit so it's over the top. But I can't see my other one, can I?
No.
So Mr. Dixon taught us what? How do we get it to be transparent, Dixon?
go to the fill.
All right, so everybody see what he said? He said you go to the fill and you hit transparent.
Bill, I don't think so.
All right, fill is this little symbol. It looks like a little bucket that's pouring paint out. All right, so we got that, and Miss Cash is smart, so she already did that. So how many electrons do we gonna put on this one?
2.
All right, so there's not an electron symbol, but there's this cool little sun. So you pick whatever symbol you want. I want to pick the little sun that's right here. It's like a light bulb.
There's a heart too.
You can put a heart, and I'm gonna put that symbol. I gotta make it so that it'll fit. So I got one there. I got one there. So if I click off of it, there's one. If I click on it again, I can hit copy on it and then
So
paste.
just put shape along the circle.
Holy crap, that's big.
So now I'm gonna move this little dude. If I
Can
can
we
find.
make these transparent too? I'm gonna make my other circles bigger so I can
Trying to move it.
everything else.
Move, dude.
Wait, I just realized it's
I might
on
need
the
to-
paper too.
Let's make it.
Loud.
All right, maybe I can move it now.
How many do we need?
So how many do we need
4. 2.
on this level here? How many do we need?
2.
Just 2. So I have 2 on this one. See that? But I'm gonna need another ring, and how many is it gonna have?
5.
Not 5.
4.
It only has 6 total. We already have 2, so we need. You were close. And you get a cigar for being close. You don't get to light it though.
Close cigar.
Close cigar, right?
Close.
All right, so I'm making a new circle, and I'm going to make it a little bigger than the previous one. And I'm going to move it over so it's over the top of it.
You're gonna make
So, do we need to make them like certain colors? So, like these up here have like blue electrons.
You do whatever you feel like, girl.
Okay.
All right, so I will need 4 on this one, right? So I'm going to copy that again.
This is not simple. That's fine.
Oh,
you
it's
zoom into it any?
If you hit Control Plus on yours, you can probably make it bigger.
I was gonna say, you can't see what it says on the first one.
I need help.
Oops. I will be right there to you. Let me click off of this.
How did you get your things that small?
How did you get what things? How do you get your...
How big is the broken heart?
So it'd be better
Wait,
if
there
you
isn't
made them
one.
big to begin with. Move it where you want
What
it.
are you talking about? There isn't one.
So, where's yours at? Right there.
Look at mine, it's so ugly. Come on.
Mine, it's so weird.
How do you get on that one? Magic fullness. How do you go?
It's impossible. Can't.
Yeah. Sorry.
Physically impossible.
I like the clouds, like the smoke clouds. Yeah, those are cool. Yeah.
I'm using the lightning.
I'm using the clouds.
I'm using the lightning too because electrons lightning, you know.
I just use lightning to look cool.
Yeah, I need help a lot.
I use it because lightning, you know, makes me think electricity, electron. Ooh. You know, just common thoughts.
There's a star.
How do you do that? Magicalness.
Magic
Google A.
into my thing.
Well, actually,
It would be a sad world if spaghetti didn't exist.
why are we talking about spaghetti?
Because it's awesome.
Only some spaghetti is awesome.
It
I
would
need
though.
to hear you
It must be certain people. Like,
He makes it.
You already said you got tired of
Dad
this
knows how I like so much.
Wow.
My mom makes the best spaghetti. No, so is my grandma.
I don't know what spaghetti my little sister calls it. Miss Spaghetti.
Oh.
Why is there a cat now?
Black and, you know, tiger.
No.
Remember tiger
Set
tail, okay?
fire.
Give me a break.
So another big circle.
Shut.
Yes.
Shut. Then my
What do I pull outside of that one?
No,
Yes, sir, I need help.
Only one of me, so I'll be here in just a second.
Mine does not look very
Oh, you don't look very good either.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
None.
Aren't I just horrible at insulting people?
Yes, you are.
Oh no, I deleted something that I shouldn't have deleted.
No, it
No.
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Mine does mess up. There you go.
I finished.
So does that mean we're done?
Why?
What?
I have to restart again. Oh, I didn't say anything. Because the save and close thing keeps disappearing.
Hey, no.
Who wants some Russian peanut butter?
Nobody.
I don't feel like going Soviet.
Wait, have you guys?
It's really boring. She doesn't have
Yeah.
She doesn't have
How is it? Is it cool?
Do you even know who the
What?
Soviets are?
No.
That was so weird, Grayson. Like, pull over there.
No, I'm gonna make my electrons all different colors.
I remember it. After that,
See you again. I gotta go to Mr.
Oh,
Logan
why?
first.
Yes, I did.
Is that good? Is it good?
Okay.
If you get four on that second ring, you are solid.
Hey, Karen. And no, in kindergarten,
Insert
I bought a
name.
book.
Now you
And
can
I
do
hit.
next. All right, I'm gonna help you, Mr. Logan, then Mr. Ruby.
I remember
Wait,
that.
are we all doing the next one?
I'll help you do it. All right, I gotta hit close on that. All right, so I forgot that I was recording, and I'm sure you're loving it. So
Oh.
next thing you need to know is you need to basically go in and add your next one. So we said we needed 6 of these. We need 4 total, correct? So one. Oops. I'm just grabbing a little sun looking thing, making them close together. 2. And do the next one, which would be another sun. 3, 4. And last but not least, so I should have 4 there. So now I have 4 total. This one here is kind of tiny. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger.
Good to know.
All right, made that one a little bit bigger. So I have 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. 2 on the inside, 4 on the outside. I'm gonna hit save and close, and it's gonna be where my mouse dropped it at. And I come over to lithium.
Hydrogen doesn't have
Holy
any
moly, it's
neutrons,
so
does
big.
it?
I'm not even done.
Do what?
Hydrogen doesn't have any neutrons, does it?
Does hydrogen have a neutron? So its atomic mass is 1.01.